Hey, Wilson, what's up, man? I see you brought your peoples with you. Come on in, everybody. Y'all sit down, have a seat, watch me kick some butt in God of War Ragnarok. Oh, man. Dude, what? All right. Okay, dude. You know what? I'm gonna quit fronting. I'm actually pretty bad at this. Let me. I'll get my butt handed to me, man. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is New Stuff TV, the untechnical tech channel. I'm your host, Antoine. Feel my blades of chaos Richardson, because today I am getting my butt kicked in God of War Ragnarok. But we're here to talk about this TV, man. This is the TCL QM8 QD LED TV. It's actually a really good TV. Wilson, what are your surface initial impressions of what you've seen so far?
It gets bright.
That was the first thing that comes to you?
It gets so bright.
Okay. That was actually my first impression too. I feel like maybe Mr. TCL, whoever runs that place, just went to the lab and said, "Hey guys, I need you to make the brightest TV you can make." And they said, "Yes." and here we are with this QM8, man. This thing is mega bright. But that brings me to the out-of-the-box experience. When you pull this thing out of the box, you plug it in, you plug in your PlayStation, and then you go to the Google homepage it has. That's the first thing you're hit with is brightness. So yes, you might need to turn that down, and you will get some presets. In fact, let me just turn off the PlayStation so we can kind of talk about the out-of-the-box experience and what you should do when you get your 80, or this is not 85, this is a 75-inch TCL QM8. So let's just go home. There we go. All right, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go into this quick menu, and I'm gonna show you what you get. It's probably gonna be on Vivid or Sports. It's most likely gonna be on Vivid. Take it off of Vivid. Unless all you watch is cartoons, just take it off of Vivid. When you start watching them cartoons again, like Despicable Me, you can put it on Vivid because it's gonna make those colors saturated and bright, and you're gonna absolutely love that picture you get. But my recommendation is to put it on Movie. This will give things a little bit more of a natural, warmer hue, and that the motion will be set to more of a movie-like motion, which is relatively gonna be, let's say 24p. That's what it's supposed to be anyways. And Sports is actually gonna give you a more saturated look, brighter colors, and more or faster motion, which is, you know, it's nice for sports. But generally, you're probably going to want to keep this TV on Movie. Now, when you get into certain content, like when we were on Netflix, what show were we watching? Was it Your Honor?
Your Honor, yeah.
Yeah, that gave us, no, it wasn't Your Honor.
The Equalizer?
Was it Equalizer? We ended up getting Dolby Vision as a default setting. So everything I just showed you with the quick menu where it said Vivid and Movie and Sports, it changed to Dolby Vision Bright.
Vision Dark, Dolby Vision Bright, and Dolby Vision Vivid. Is that right?
It's like a smart Dolby Vision.
Yeah, something like that. Some HDR kind of thing.
So the TV kind of recognizes the content, and you know, it'll help you figure out what you need to do. But that's for people who just want a decent out-of-the-box experience. You just plug it in, turn it on, and start watching. But for those people who are like me, who are kind of, I hate to say I'm a snob, Wilson, but I've become like a content snob and like a picture quality snob. So I need to dig into these settings and kind of fine-tune some stuff because I want my colors to be a little bit more accurate, let's say. And this TV allows you to do it. So you can go into those detail settings with motion, picture, and like tones and stuff like that. Anything I'm missing, man? As far as fixing that picture with all the stuff we did, the tweaks?
No, just
It wasn't really much. Dynamic range, all that stuff is available in there. And that's, like I said, if you're just wanting to take it out of the box and put it up, you're gonna be good to go. Just put it on Movie. Or Sports if you're watching sports, and Vivid if you're watching something like cartoons. But for those of you who are like me, go into those detail settings and have your way with this thing. And I think you're gonna be able to find something you like, because we did. We sat here for what, 20 minutes probably?
Just about.
Messing around with some of these settings.
Yeah.
It'll take you about 20 minutes to find something you really like and just dial that in. But then that covers the out-of-the-box experience. But you saw me gaming on this TV. Now this is where I need to turn the PlayStation back on, because I want to show you guys about what is up with this gaming bar. So it does have eARC in the back. So once you turn on your PlayStation, you know what, man? I think I need to pick a side. You know, it's always like Xbox or PlayStation. Do I have to pick a side?
I mean, you could.
Well, obviously I got a side. I'm a PlayStation dude. So
There
you
you go.
turn on your PlayStation. If you got an Xbox, you ain't got no business with this TV. So you turn on you turn on your PlayStation, and it recognizes that you have a PlayStation, right? Then the quick settings menu, actually the button, it actually will double up as a gaming menu button or game bar menu button. So we get here, you can see I'm gaming at 119.9 frames per second. The HDR is on, the ALM is on, the AL automatically low latency mode, the VRR is on. Then when we get to the bottom of the screen, we got the aiming aid that we can turn off, the high frame rate that we can turn on and off. You got a choice between first person gaming, RPG, and original. I kind of like original because it's, you know, it's not so bright, but let's put it back on RPG. Then you got your shadow enhancer, so you can see those nasty creatures in the corners and the caves and stuff. And it's got 9 levels, so if you can't see them dudes after you get to level 9, then something's wrong with you. Stop gaming. You got a more detailed menu. We can turn this on and off. We played around with this earlier, and it kind of darkens the picture. And I think in a like a darker lit room, like we have on all the lights in here, but in a darker lit room, I think that comes in really clutch. But let's get out of here because, like I said, I'm actually done with gaming. But I do want to talk to you about viewing angles. Now, this is something me and Wilson have just determined that there's only 2 people who really care about gaming angles, or not gaming angles, viewing angles. It's the people who have really big gatherings for sports and stuff like that, and snobs like me, but not me because I don't really care. Because if I'm gonna buy a TV that's this big and this beautiful, I'm sitting right in front of that bad boy right here. Wilson is actually on the right-hand side of the TV. Wilson, are you seeing any nastiness on the side of this TV at the viewing angle you're at?
Honestly, no. And you really shouldn't be watching where I'm standing anyways.
Yeah, I mean, it washes out ever so slightly. And he was at a pretty extreme, steep angle as far as I'm concerned. But head on, you won't see nothing. If you stand up, you won't see nothing. Let me go over to the side. Let me just verify. I don't see right about here. And that's actually, in my opinion, pretty wide. That once I go in a little bit more, I can start seeing some, it just washes out just a little bit. But once again, you just come back a little bit and that picture, it starts to get saturated again and you're happy with the picture you're getting. So as far as viewing angles, that's something that YouTube created that. Some YouTuber created that and people just go crazy with the viewing angle thing. Watch TV from the front.
I don't understand how that's a concern.
It is for some people. Like
I really don't. Like it's like from CRT TVs, you had to sit in front of it, and that's how you were supposed to watch it.
My man took it back to the olden days, man. Yeah. But seriously, I think I got to give it to the people that have big gatherings where you got this giant sectional, then you got the open concept house, and maybe this dude sitting over in a bar stool eating nachos by himself. You know what I'm saying? He wants to see the game too. You got to accommodate that guy with the nachos by himself. So I don't know if maybe, but I wouldn't worry about the viewing angles of this TV. I think you're good all around, to be honest with you. Now, as far as viewing angles, that's it. You happy, bro? I talked about him. Okay, let's move on.
God forbid we bring curved TVs into this.
Curved TVs have entered the chat. Oh man, let's get into motion because this is important to me too. We talked about this movie business, right? I'm a movie watcher, so my motion's got to be like 24p. It's got to be like organic, like real natural motion. I think this TV does that well, but not right out of the box. Go into the deeper settings and change those motion settings and play around with them. You got your, was it judder?
It's like a jitter or something.
Jitter settings and something else, man. There's 2 of them. You can play around with them back and forth. And you will find the right amount for either sports, because sports, you might want to increase that and get some, faster motion going or higher frame rates going. And then for movies, tone it down a notch, take it down to 24p. That way you can get that natural flow of things. And so you can have that more cinematic experience. But the reason I bring this up is because that's a problem for some people. And right out of the box, you might notice something needs to be tweaked. I'm letting you know that the TV has adjustments for that, and you should go look at it. Now, Google TV. Should we do Google TV first or go into the dark scenes?
No, Google TV.
Google
this is
TV.
a hub.
Okay, Google TV is the hub. TVs are getting like phones now. So it's not like you buy an Android phone, you're getting Google. Okay, you're getting Android with a layer on top of it. And that's what TVs are like now. So in these cases, you're getting Google TV everywhere. And some companies, such as TCL, have actually interwoven their own interface into Google TV. So the menus I'm showing you, they actually are TCL's menu that looks just like Google TV. They blended it really well. So it's not like a jarring experience to where you're using one OS and then another. They blended it well, and it actually performs well and matches up well with the hardware, because that's what you're buying at this point. You're buying the Google TV interface, and then you're buying the TCL hardware. So when we get into watching content, I like all kinds of content, but I'm more of a movie watcher and a movie type show watcher. My latest show is Those Who Are About to Die on Peacock. So I adjusted my settings for that show because I like that show, and they work out really well. But there are some dark scenes in there that I thought needed some extra tweaks, so I went into the settings. And oh man, the contrast that you can pull out of this TV. Wilson mentioned earlier about the darkness. I've never owned an OLED TV, but I do know what they look like. I've seen them in full on action. And guess what? This ain't no OLED TV, but it's pretty doggone close, okay? This thing will pull out really solid contrast, right? And it will get really dark where it needs to be without crushing the picture too much. But what I noticed is when I was watching Those Who Are About to Die, sometimes with the sunset and like you'd have a sunset in a building, oh man, just beautiful. Try it out. Try it out with those settings, or play around with your contrast settings, and you'll get this TV dialed in. And I'm pretty sure those of you who are thinking about getting one, pretty sure you'd actually love what you can actually pull out of the picture of this TV. Now let's talk about the audio, because not everybody has a whole, home theater audio setup. I don't really think you need to go get one right out of the gate. You spend a lot of money on your gigantic 75-inch TV, so maybe you're saving a little bit of money. So that's why TCL decided to put a full-on system in this thing. I can't show you the back right now, but maybe I'll throw in some B-roll. This thing has, hold up, I forgot what the manufacturer is back here. It's got a subwoofer back here. Have you heard of TVs with subwoofers, dude?
It has you haven't shown me this.
They're doing that now, man. Let me show you. What is this? Onkyo. Yeah, it's got an Onkyo system in there, man. let me go back here again. So it's got the sub in the back. You can see where it's like this big circle. I'll show you in the B-roll. It's got a sub back here. We got Atmos speakers at the top. Right here, we got one over here and one over here. All of that to say the sound out of this TV is really, really good right out of the gate. You're getting full sound. You're getting highs, mids, and actual lows. Back in the day, man, TV speakers sucked bad. Nowadays, they're making them to where they actually care about the sound that comes out of a TV. And I'm here for it all day, especially the fact that they're putting subwoofers into these things so you can get an actual full sound and a rich sound instead of that hollowy, nasty mess we used to get. But I mean, are you feeling this? Like, are you with me on this, Wilson?
I understand.
Dude, TV speakers freaking suck and it used to bother me, man. Let's talk about this remote control before we get out of here. All right, so the remote control is a plastic remote. Some people like a super premium feeling remote. It's a plastic remote. It's really light. But the thing I like about it is that it's the ergonomics. It's really just kind of smooth all around. But the lighting, remotes with lights, I think it should be like
Standard. It has to be.
Not even standard. It should be like government regulated.
You think so?
Seriously.
Not even just some of the buttons, all of the buttons.
Every last button. Government regulations on TV remotes. They should all be lit. I know some people want less government. No, we need more government and lighting on the TVs. Anyways, man, you got your 6 shortcut buttons. One of them is dedicated to TCL TV. Dude, they give you a whole freaking slew of TV channels you can watch for free in case you're not willing to pay that premium price for Netflix and stuff like that. Prime Video, Apple TV, Pluto TV, and YouTube. And then, of course, you got your quick settings and all of your other standard buttons that would come with a Google TV. Speaking of Google TV, you can just hold this little microphone right here and say, it's time to end this video. Let me see. It said that. Well, I don't know what it's going to do, but I just want to show you that the microphone works. It's working. It's just reading everything I'm saying. Anyways, man, look, I'm not an expert in this kind of stuff, but what I do know is this 75-inch TCL QM8 is kind of a badass TV, Wilson. What you think, man? First impressions.
It's bright. I'm still going to stick with that.
It's bright. Man, Wilson just went on this long tangent about how bright this TV gets. Look, man, either way, I'm not an expert in this kind of stuff, but what I do know is If you click the links in the description and look at the prices of this TV, I can assure you that you are getting your money's worth without having to crack open your 401k piggy bank. Now y'all keep being good to each other, and I'll see you when I see you.